remember that they're changing my voice. Before I start this video again, I'd like to apologize to you for raising my voice. I get persecuted, I get harassed, and even if you don't believe me, okay, know that I'm a sincere person, I'm an honest person, okay? You should know that. If you don't believe that, you'll eventually believe it if you keep listening to my videos, Okay. So when we look at this thing, right, there's two types of people that emerge. One is the most well-meaning of the people who intend to keep reproducing, the people who want to assimilate, the people who want to play by the corporate state's rules, what have you. Okay. The other type of person is somebody who says, hey, I have to be purely good. The reason why angels wear all white in Christianity, for example, right, the idea that it's referring to is trying to be pure. Right, holy water in the church is supposed to be pure, not polluted, right? So the idea of trying to purify oneself is I'm going to be pure good, okay? And they're on their way out. You see what I'm saying? So from what I gather, you have issues with people who want to play the game, really, because you want to find your life in this world, so to speak, and you want a guy who wants to find his life in this world, okay? And for whatever reason, and you want them to bring more to the table. You want people in general to live like that, right? I don't know if you're single or not, but that's what you expect from your mate, right? Where me, I expect a female to be willing to die for moral precision with me on the drop of a hat. Okay, say for the sake of argument, they surround us and a bunch of corrupt cops and they intend to kill us and they start the house on fire unfairly, right? Just make up everything, right? She's got to be willing to face that possibility. She's got to meditate on the possibility of being killed all the time. Someone I'm madly in love with, right? Because God is love and you don't settle. Settle, the word settle is like the deity of evil in Egypt called Set. Again, I'm not trying to make you Egyptian, mythology person. I'm not trying to make you a Christian. I'm trying to help you understand these universal truths that are patterns in religions. And basically all religions in a sense are wrong, but to some degree they're right, okay? And that's a story for another day. But the kind of bottom line here is that I live my life in adversity to the forces that try to get people to conform and to fall in line, if you will, with the orders of the world. And that by default means that one is going to be persecuted. That's part of what I was trying to impress upon you earlier, that there's no way around that. When Malcolm X, for example, did what he did, and I don't think he was perfect by any means, mind you, but he did things in a certain way that makes him a good example. When he did what he did, he was going to be persecuted. They were not going to leave that man alone, right? When Martin Luther King did what he did, he's going to be persecuted. Marcus Garvey, he's going to be persecuted, right? Unless he worked for the state, okay, secretly or something, he was going to be persecuted. Now, is it because of the president by himself? Or the head of the FBI? Or just a bunch of racist corporations? It's the whole system, okay? They keep men down. People really man up to be a man. They keep them down. They keep poor people down, whites, blacks, you name it, LGBT, women. Okay, they abuse people. They abuse the people that work for them. They abuse other rich people like Roman senators that would plot on each other and kill each other at times. This is a ruthless, rapacious wolf, dog-eat-dog system, and I'm sure you know this to a large degree. Okay, but that has to be established and that has to be factored in. So when I make my decision to not conform, to stand proud as a man and say, I'm not going to accept evil, especially not from people who are historically my oppressor at the highest level. The rich whites, the rich Jews, the rich LGBT people, no offense to those races and groups, but at the highest level, those are the people who are oppressing me, who are ordering people to persecute me, who want to turn me against other people unfairly. Those are the people who want people in the hoods, black people to kill each other, brown people to kill each other, Native Americans, what have you. They want us to harm each other instead of do the right thing, okay? I'm not going to accept their bribe of financial stability. For all the money in the world, I'm not going to betray what I believe. If I knew that what I was doing was going to get my wife raped and tortured and killed, I would still do it. And keep in mind, I'm single, not married. Because what's right comes before hardship. I would scramble to make sure that didn't happen. I'd give her some kind of knife or a gun and say, hey, if worse comes to worse, you can always kill yourself, and I'm not going to blame you. If they come to take you, to torture you, you have a right to kill yourself. You want to shoot out with them? I don't blame you for that either. Even if they label you a terrorist and label me a terrorist, if I was talking to her, right? okay, then I wouldn't blame you. Because you're doing what's right, and they're plotting against you with military-grade psychology and techniques and tactics. And life is a struggle, and you're supposed to struggle against evil and overcome it. You overcome evil even when you're tortured and you say what they want you to say in a dungeon somewhere, in a prison, because that doesn't count. That's not a test of your integrity. That's not a test of your character. But if they release you, you better go back to doing what's right, or you don't have character, and you better try not to get caught the second time. You see what I'm saying? This is how I live my life with all of my heart. So there's two standards that are created here. One is for the martyr, which is what everyone should be in this evil world. And the other is for someone just trying to go along to get along, especially the most well-meaning of them. So the major place I think we disagree here is whether or not somebody should go full-fledged at their oppressor, philosophically speaking, doing what is right, not charging with a gun or something like, oh, here I come, but actually peaceful protest. This is what's right. I'm not going to budge because I love God too much, because I love the people that you've killed too much, because I disapprove of your rape system too much, because I'm not going to be impartial with you raping the kids. It's not going to happen. If I lived forever and I'd be tortured forever, I would still stand firm for what is right. And that passion is part of true love. True love only comes from justice. And if you're not going for true love, what are you going for? But you have free will. You have a right, not a moral right, but a kind of legal right, a God-given option, rather, to not agree with me. You are the master of your life, so to speak. If you want to accept that I'm the most righteous person and you want to rally to me, that's what you're supposed to do. But if you don't, that's your option. I'm not going to, kidnap someone and say, why didn't you follow me, man? Yeah, that's not me. That's not right. But you've got to understand that when attractive women as a group reject the righteous man, when attractive women are used to market cars and different products, and they're used, especially on TikTok, and they decide as a group collectively to shun me for not shrinking into this evil wasteland of a world to fit, that they're wrong and I'm right. The martyr is the exception. Corporate doesn't want you to admit that. Am I telling you to date any old bum? Some guy who sells drugs instead of gets work and he scrapes by? No. Who doesn't have a higher cause? No. And I can't imagine how we'd have a higher cause, right? But who knows? Okay, we'll count for every scenario. Am I telling you, to let some thug, or some token minority get over on you? Okay? The token minority's doing bad and he's the type of hustling token minority? No. But I'm also not, I'm also telling you to not date the conformist, but that's your option. You have that option. But it's not right for you to pretend, even for a moment, that the moral martyr isn't the ideal man, and that magically someone who conforms and is really polite and does everything the feminist wants them to do magically is. If a woman is really for women, she will want her to stand with the morally precise person, because life is short anyway. Better 5 days on this planet, better 5 nanoseconds on this planet as a righteous person than 5,000 years as a lukewarm person. If someone is really for women, they want her to achieve that greatness and to live it. But we don't see them doing that, because the toxic philosophies of a corporate society that makes straw men and gaslights people has prevented that. So to this day, I haven't come across a single woman who preaches that and lives it. And I'm the only guy that I've come across, only man who preaches it and lives it. That is the essence, in a sense, of where I'm coming from. The essential alpha essence to sense the presence of God, the essential alpha essence to have the possibility for true love.